Actor and musician Lucy Walsh grew up in show business, but it wasn't until she was 12 that she realized her father, Joe Walsh, of legendary rock band The Eagles, was famous.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah, a bit of a big deal. And it was her maternal grandparents who actually inspired her to write this touching new family memoir, Remember Me as Human. And Lucy joins us now. Lucy, it's good to see you. Good
Thank
morning.
you so much. How are you?
We're good, thank you. Okay, this book was kind of born out of a 3-day interview with your grandmother, Wanda. Tell us a bit about that in this conversation and why it inspired the book.
Well, I want to ask you all a question. Okay. I want you to think of a loved one who has died, who you miss very much, and hold them in your heart for a moment. If you could go back and ask them one more question, what would it be? That's what my book is about, and that's why it's such a powerful read for everybody. When I was 17, my grandmother gave me these 63 letters that my grandfather Dale had written to her during World War II. And then he died of Alzheimer's before I really got a chance to ask him anything about them. And that really scared me into asking questions of all my loved ones, because I think I figured that if I could collect everybody's memories, then Alzheimer's could never win again. And that's what led me to interviewing her in her nursing home when she was 97 about her life and the letters. And that's the story of those 3 days is the book.
This is so inspiring because my grandmother is 97 as well, and she's still with us, and I'm having lunch with her tomorrow. And I've thought about doing this, recording her story, because it's so fascinating. So thank you for this, because it's motivating me to act. But you said through these conversations, it was so eye-opening for you.
Yeah.
Tell us how.
Well, we have a lot of fear of getting older. I think it's a very ignored part of society, and we try to shut it away as much as we can. But much of my book takes place in my grandmother's nursing home. And it's very easy for us to show up for an elderly person and spend time with them, whether it's, taking them to lunch, talking, playing cards, playing music. And I had this experience where I played piano for everybody in the nursing home, and people rose up and came back to life. It's very powerful to give another human your time, just to hold space for another human. And I hope that the book inspires people to realize that age is not the person, it's happening to the person. And, it's not as scary as we think.
All right, let's go from your grandmother to your father, if we could, for a second. Joe Walsh, of course, of Eagles fame and a legendary guitarist. Tell us about the time you realized for the first time that your dad was, again, kind of a big deal, was famous.
Yeah, it was when I was 12 years old. He went back to work with the Eagles, and I remember their VH1 special sitting on the stools, and I was seated between Whoopi Goldberg and Claudia Schiffer. And I was going, who's my dad? And then around that time, they played the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and I was watching from a box up above the audience. And when that crowd erupted into this roar, it was unlike anything I had ever heard, and I just had tears streaming down my face. And it was in that moment that I realized that I wanted the same for myself. And I had an example of a parent who had been successful doing what they loved, and I'm really grateful I had that.
That's super cool. Speaking of family, I'm curious what your family thinks of this book.
They have been real troopers. It's not easy for them. I'm definitely digging into very dark closets of our family history. But I really stand for, and the book is really about breaking these generational traumas that we all protect within our own families. And it is really a powerful read for everybody, I believe. And in the spirit of that, of helping each other figure out how to be human, I started the Lucy Walsh Studio, which is coaching with clients all over the world. I do life coaching and music and voice therapy. And it's, we all need each other. We're comparing notes on what it means to be human. Sure. That's all we can do. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Right.
Very true.
One person all the time at it. Yeah.
None of us know what we're doing. So you got to help each other.
Yes. As another famous musician once said, this is not a dress rehearsal.
That's right. This is the real thing.
All right. Remember Me as Human is available now. Lucy Walsh, great to see you this morning. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much. Thank you.